Guys, please confirm to me. All of you get my voice on the screen. Those who are attending in online. Guys, please confirm to me. All of you get my voice on the screen. Yes, good morning. Good morning, guys. Good morning to you all. No, it is. Right. Good morning, guys. Right. Uh, can you please check what we completed in the last session? Any idea? I think so. We are discussing about differences between Java and other programming languages. In the differences, how many differences we completed so far? Overall, 5 differences we understood. Okay. What these 5 differences we understood? What are these differences we understood clearly? If you observe this, first one is C and C++ are static programming languages, but Java is a dynamic programming language. Difference number two, preprocessor required in C and C++, but preprocessor does not required in Java. Point number three, C and C++ are platform dependent programming languages, but Java is a platform independent programming language. Next one, pointers are existed in C and C++, but pointers are not existed in Java. Okay, I think so. These points successfully we completed with very good explanation. Then I started one point. What was the point I started there in the last class? Multiple inheritance not supported by Java. Multiple inheritance was not supported by Java. Whether it is supported or not supported in C++, not required for us. Definitely supported, but through some other content. To understand that, we need to go for too much internals of C++, but not required for us. That's why I specify the point is like what now? Multiple inheritance does not supported by Java programming language. Up to that only we are going to understand. All right, sir. Then before starting our content today, I have given some interview questions in the few classes. Last classes I have given some interview questions. What are these interview questions I given, guys? Any idea? What are the interview questions I given there? And nearly 3 to 4 questions we completed. What are the questions we completed there? Any idea? Right, so the first one is what now? Differences between hash include statement and import statement. That is one question. Then what was the second question there? Differences between pointer variable and reference variable. That's okay. Then another question is what? Differences between .exe file and .class file. Okay, fine. These are the differences we understood. 3 interview questions we completed so far. Okay, leave it. Already answers are given that. Then try to prepare all this content. Okay, fine. All right, sir. Next one. Coming to the point what we are discussing in the last class, multiple inheritance is not possible, not existed in Java. But before going to understand this particular statement, here we have to analyze what is multiple inheritance. If you want to analyze what is multiple inheritance, first we have to understand what is inheritance, from where this inheritance is coming. If you want to understand about inheritance, there we have to understand object orientation, that is object oriented programming languages. Now, yesterday I given one simple definition. What is object oriented programming language? If any programming language allows its applications to represent the data, that means to manage the data in the form of objects by following object oriented principles, then that programming language is what? Object oriented programming language. Object is not any other one. Object is a block of memory where we are going to store the data. Object is a block of memory where data will be stored. Object is a block of memory where data will be stored. While storing data inside the objects, a set of rules and regulations we have to follow. A set of conventions we have to follow. That set of conventions are called as object-oriented features. A set of conventions are called as what? Object-oriented features. Everybody understand my point clearly? Good. What are the various object-oriented features we are having? How many object-oriented features are available? 7 number of object-oriented features are existed. What are the 7 number of object-oriented features are available? Class, object, encapsulation, abstraction, inheritance, polymorphism, message passing. Class, object, encapsulation, abstraction, inheritance, polymorphism. Then what next one here? Message passing. That's it. Got it or not? Okay, fine. Out of all these, now we need to understand what inheritance. Inheritance here we have to understand. What we have to understand there? Inheritance we have to understand. Good. Before starting this inheritance, I give a simple fundamental point. In Java, we are writing the programs by using what? Classes. In the form of classes only, we are able to write programs in Java. Observe carefully. So what is this class actually? Class is a group representation. The simple class is what? A group representation. Say for example, this is core Java class. Your group representation is what? Core Java. You're all students. So your group representation is what? Student. Number of courses are available at Durgasoft. Course is a group representation. All these are categorizations or not? All these are classifications or not? The classification is nothing but what? A class. So in Java programming, if you want to represent a particular group, if you want to represent any particular group, there we have to use what? A class. There we have to use a class. Simple. Understand this clearly. Inside this class, what we are able to have there? Inside the class, we are able to have variables and methods. Inside the class, we are able to have variables and methods. Variables and methods are existed. Variables are representing data and methods are representing some activities. That means some actions, some work, unit of work or something else. Okay, fine. That is the meaning of class. Next one, in some situations, we need some relationships between classes. We need some relationships between classes. Why? Because I want to reuse the content of one class to another class. I want to reuse the variables and methods of one class in another class. So I want to improve code reusability. If you want to improve code reusability, there we have to go for one type of relation between two classes. That relation is nothing but what? Parent-child relation. In other words, superclass subclass relation. That superclass subclass relation, parent-child relation is nothing but inheritance relation. Then I give you what exactly the meaning of inheritance. Tell me guess, what is this inheritance actually? Inheritance is a relation between classes. It will bring variables and methods from one class to another class in order to improve code reusability. What is the main benefit of inheritance? Code reusability. What is the meaning of code reusability? Declare the required code in the superclass, reuse that code in the subclasses. Here, two classes here have taken A and B. Right? Which class is a superclass and which class is subclass here? A. Class A is what? Superclass. Class B is what? Subclass. Now tell me in Java, how can we establish inheritance relation between two classes? By using which keyword? Which keyword is representing inheritance relation? Extends keyword. Before extends keyword subclass name, after extends keyword what? Superclass name. Right, sir. Now this is what exactly the point here we can understand. Yes, sir, all of you are getting it clearly or not? Guys, I'm asking one question. All of you are getting videos every day. Are you getting videos? No, no response from online people. I think everybody, those who registered for the courses, they are getting videos every day. Regularly, they are getting, right? Within 1 hour, I given the time limit also. Within 1 hour, they have to upload. That's mandatory condition from my side. So definitely, our people, yeah. Still, if you are not getting videos, already registered, but if you are not getting videos, try to check with our office. Definitely they will help you how to access that videos. Already they are giving access every day. As per my instructions, they are following and they are giving recorded sessions within 1 hour. They are giving that. For any new student is coming, within after completion of the registration, immediately they are giving that access link and everything. So my services are very good and very much fast, no doubt for that. Definitely they will provide that. But still, if you are not getting that, due to some communication gap, maybe we are going to get such kind of situation. Try to contact with our office. For online students, just better to reach out our office by sending mail through Durgasoft online training @gmail.com. Our people will act you and our people will give guidelines to you how to access that video for online people also know. Yeah. Okay, thank you. All right, sir. Now let's come for this. Just we understood inheritance. Only what we understood there, inheritance. That's okay. How many types of inheritances are available? Listen, all of you. Now onwards, new content. Number of types are available in inheritance. What are the various types of inheritances are existed actually? There are basically, initially, there are two types of inheritances are existed. How many types of inheritances are existed here? Two types of inheritances. There are two types of inheritances. What are the two types of inheritances actually? First one is single inheritance. First one is what? Single inheritance. Second one is what? Multiple inheritance. Names are very simple. First one is what? Single inheritance. Second one is what? Multiple inheritance. Up to now clear? How many types of inheritance are available? Two types. Single, multiple. Okay, fine. Next one, I will come one after another later on. But before that, one more point here. On the basis of the above inheritances, on the basis of the above inheritances, three more inheritances are defined. Come on, guys. On the basis of these two, on the basis of the single and multiple inheritances, how many types of inheritances are again provided there? Three more types are defined. Right, sir. Three more types are defined. What these three more types actually, you can understand. Numbers are given right from 3 onwards. The first one is like what now? Multi-level inheritance. What is this now? Multi-level inheritance. And next one is like what now? Hierarchical inheritance. Hierarchical inheritance. Okay. And the fifth one is like what now? Hybrid inheritance. Hybrid inheritance. Right? Don't search for spelling mistakes, sir. No, I'm not at all good. I'm not at all good in English, right? So I accepted it. People are still thinking about my English, right? No? Java is our language, not English. Please remember this. In Java, I can teach anything. Okay? This is not spoken English class. Please remember this. Right. Overall, now tell me, 5 types of inheritances are available or not? Overall, what are these 5 types of inheritances here? First one is what? Single inheritance. Second one is what? Multiple inheritance. Third one is what? Multi-level inheritance. Next one is what? Hierarchical inheritance. Last one is what? Hybrid inheritance. At present, I need only single inheritance and multiple inheritance. I don't require multi-level, hierarchical, and hybrid inheritance at present. Inheritance is a separate topic. Nearly 4 to 5 days of time we have to spend time. In object orientation is one of the main topic. There I will discuss each and every one effectively with programming. But at present, for our difference, for our actual context, multiple inheritance is not existed in Java. To say that, I need to introduce what is single inheritance, then immediately I'll go for what? Multiple inheritance. Then I will move to why it is not existed in Java. Sir, got my point or not? This is my orientation here. So I don't require what? Multi-level, hierarchical, and hybrid inheritance. I don't require these content here. Right, that's fine. Now come for this, what is single inheritance? That is my question here. These two things here I have to analyze. First one is what is single inheritance? Listen, all of you listen carefully. I'll give direct definition here. Try to understand this one. Single inheritance is a relation between classes. It will bring variables and methods from only one superclass to one or more number of subclasses. Come again. Single inheritance is a relation between classes. It will bring variables and methods from how many superclasses? No, only one superclass. Only one superclass to one or more number of subclasses. We don't have any conditional number of subclasses. We have conditional number of superclasses. That is only one superclass. Get my point or not? So it is a relation between classes. It is a relation between classes. It will bring variables and methods from only one superclass to one or more number of subclasses in order to improve reusability. Of course, single total inheritance is for improving reusability. So single inheritance is also be improving reusability. No second thought of it. So here the point is what? Getting variables and methods from how many superclasses? That is only one superclass. If it is only one superclass, then that inheritance is called is like what now? Single inheritance. Okay, sir. Little bit diagrammatic way. Understood the definition, okay? But little bit diagrammatic way I want to know. Let's see. Let me prepare a separate diagram for this. Let me prepare a separate diagram. Right? See this, guys, all of you know. Let me prepare a separate diagram. I want to take this is class A. Every time I want to take classes as a boxes. This is class A. Put more concentration. These diagrams are giving much clarity for us. Now I will move towards our direction, our target from this. Now here I want to take this is class A. Now inside this class A, just I want to take variables and methods. Int I is equal to 10. One variable I have taken. Next one is void m1 method. I have taken one method. One variable, one method. I have taken both here. Clear? In class A, how many variables and how many methods I have taken? One variable, one method. How many subclasses I have to take in single inheritance? Is that any condition? Do you have any condition over there? No, we don't have any condition over there. So we can take any number of subclasses. That doesn't matter here. But superclasses must be single. Right, sir. Now I want to declare it is a class B. This is what? Class B. Now tell me, what is the symbolic notation for inheritance actually? What is the symbolic notation for inheritance? Yesterday I given that information there. Upwards arrow. Arrow is a symbolic notation or not? Arrow is a symbolic notation for inheritance. All of you observe this clearly. This arrow is representing inheritance. Arrow header part is always representing what? Superclass. Arrow header part is always representing what? superclass. Arrow Tyler part is always representing what? Subclass. Okay, good. Now here, for our clarity purpose, I'm writing what? Extends a keyword. Now tell me, I variable is declared in where? Superclass or subclass? Superclass. M1 method is declared where? Superclass. Now class B is acting as subclass now. Here I want to use I is equal to I plus 10. Now tell me, I is equal to I plus 10 in the sense, what I am doing here? I am reusing the I variable, or I am again declaring I variable? Reusing I variable, which was already declared in superclass, that I have reused in child class, in subclass. Good. Next one is, I am calling M1 method. Just this is like a method call. M1 method call I provided now. We are if we are trying to call a method in the sense, already that method might be declared or not. That method was already declared. Then only we are calling that. Without declaring method, how can we access that one? Now tell me. We are calling this M1 method in class B, but it was declared where? Where it was declared? In class A. In class A. In class A. In class A, it was declared. Is my point is clear or not? In class A, it was declared. That's okay. Good. Right, sir. In class A, it was declared. That means in superclass, it was declared. Okay, sir. Understand this clearly? Good. Next one is after completion of this, after understanding this total content here we understood. This is single inheritance. That means in superclass, variables and methods are declared. The same thing are reused in the child classes. That we completed clearly. This is like what now? Single inheritance. Tell me, guys. Do you have any confusion up to this part here? Do you have any confusion up to this part here? No confusion. It's very simple. Okay, fine. Java does support this inheritance. Not only you, compiler and JVM both are not having any confusion by looking on this particular part. If you provide single inheritance practical in our Java program, compiler and JVM are not having any confusion. Both are not having any confusion. Everybody understand this one clearly? Nice. Next one. After that, I want to go for multiple inheritance. First, as per the definition, I am giving clarity. Later, I will give clarity why multiple inheritance is not existed. Okay? Let us plan for it. I want to take two classes here. Why? Because you know already the definition of multiple inheritance. What is the definition of the multiple inheritance, guys? Now tell me. Have I given any definition for multiple inheritance? No. Right now, let's see this one. Now here I want to specify Java does support multiple inheritance. Java does support multiple inheritance. That's okay. Good. Sorry. Java does support what? Single inheritance. Okay, fine. Right, sir. Next one is now come for this multiple inheritance part. What is this multiple inheritance now? It is a relation between classes. It will bring variables and methods from more than one superclass. It will bring variables and methods from more than one superclass to one or more number of subclasses. Come again, what is the definition? It is a relation between classes. It will bring variables and methods from more than one superclass to one or more number of subclasses. Number of subclasses, we don't have any condition. But again, here the condition is on what? Number of superclasses. What is the condition here? More than one superclass. Condition is what? More than one superclass. Let me write this small statement here. Then after that, I will go for diagrammatic representation. It is a relation between classes. It is a relation between classes. Okay, then what next one here? It will bring variables and methods from more than one superclass. More than one superclass to one or more number of subclasses. Right, that's okay. This is the definition here we can understand. There is a relation between classes. It will bring variables and methods from more than one superclass to one or more number of subclasses. Right. I want to show the same thing in a diagrammatic manner. Now try to recognize this clearly. Okay, can I go for diagram now? Right, let's see, all of you know. So this is class A I want to take. Class A, first of all, as per the definition, later I will talk why it is not possible in Java. Next one is, after that, class A, here I want to declare int I is equal to 10. Then asked is void m1 method here we declared. Okay, good. Similarly, I want to declare class B. This is like what? No, class B. Here we provided class B. Right. This is like what? No, class B. Inside this class B, what I will do? I want to declare int j is equal to 20. I declared int j is equal to 20. Void m2 method here I am going to declare void m2 method. That void in the sense is a written type of the method, sir. Don't think much about it. In methods, I will clarify that particular part here. Okay, right, sir. Now, how many classes I have taken so far? 2 classes I have taken. Next one, I want to take a child class for both the classes. I want to take a child class for both the classes. Now here I want to declare it is like what? No, it is a class C, for example. Class C. This is what? No, class C. Okay. Now I want to make this class C is a child class to class B. I want to make class C is a child class to class A and class B. Then how it is possible? I need to prepare arrows like this. I need to prepare arrows like this. I have to prepare arrows like this. Is that got it or not? I have to prepare arrows like this. Okay, now here I want to specify extends keyword. I want to specify like what? No, extends keyword. Now tell me here, which classes are acting as super classes and which class is acting as child class here? Now tell me. Class A and class B are what? Super classes, and class C is what? Subclass. So all super class members are reusable in child class or not? All super class members are reusable in child class or not? It means that class A members and class B members I can access directly in class C or not? I can access directly class A and class B members inside class C. So I can understand I is equal to I plus 10 again semicolon, j is equal to j plus 20 semicolon. Am I right or not? Possible or not possible? Possible or not possible? Even though I did not declare I and j variables inside class C, but still I can access I and j from superclass A and superclass B. From superclass A, I variable I have reused. From superclass B, j variable I have reused. Not only this, I can access both the M1 and M2 methods. Right, sir? We can access M1 method, not declared. M1 method we can access, and here M2 method also we can access. Now tell me again, where we declared M1 and M2 methods no in super classes, but where we reused that methods no in child classes here no. Got my point or not? So reusability is coming or not? Declared in super class but reused in a child classes here. I'm asking once again the question here, guys. Now tell me, all of you guys, now tell me, do you have any confusion up to now? Whenever we are accessing I variable and j variable, M1 method and M2 method, do you have any confusion up to now? It's a very clear-cut information. From superclass A, I variable and M1 methods are coming. From superclass B, J variable and M2 methods are coming. We can access directly the I variable and J variable, M1 method and M2 method in a class C. Up to now, we don't have any confusion. Still, we don't have any confusion. Am I right or not? No response, guys. Today, you're totally silent. I don't know what is the reason for it. Do you have any family problems? Is your girlfriend is with you or not? Otherwise, don't worry. Then call your girlfriend also inside the class. I'll provide family packages. 50,000. Right, but you should be active. That's my point here. Still, really, if it is required, you can call her also inside the class. Right, but I will ask questions definitely. Not to you, to your girlfriend. If she is qualified, then only she has to come to my class. Come on, be active. Right, sir. So up to now we are not having any problem. Now I will give one more diagram. There I will give a small problem. Try to identify the problem. Same diagram I am going to repeat. with a small problem I will provide, then try to identify that problem. Okay, right. I want to check your knowledge, whether you are following really or not. Right, good. All of you, check this. I'm going to take a superclass, another superclass, here a child class. Right, now I want to give names for each and every class. This is like what no class A, and this is like what no class B, and this is like what no class C. What is our plan actually? I want to make a class A and a class B as a super classes and a class C as a child classes. Then immediately, what is my arrows direction? I need to have a line like this. Then what next one here? After that, I have to prepare one arrow here, another arrow here, upwards arrows only. Don't use downward arrow. If we keep the downward arrow, the total meaning will be different. Arrow header pod is always representing what? Superclass. Trailer pod is representing what? Child class, subclass. Okay, good. Now guys, all of you have to carefully. Now here I am telling there, int I is equal to 10. Okay, M1 method. M1 method. That's okay, good. All of you have to carefully. Now here in M1 method, I want to do something, some change here I want to perform. Try to observe this clearly. M1 method I want to provide. The M1 method. Here inside this M1 method, I want to provide some implementation. X implementation I want to provide. Inside M1 method, what I want to provide there, some X implementation. Right here, some X implementation here we want to provide. Similarly, in class B, observe carefully. Here I'm going to have a small change when compared with the previous diagram. Int I is equal to 20 now. Int I is equal to 20. Again, I'm taking M1 method here. Inside this M1 method, which implementation I want to have there? Y implementation. Inside M1 method, I want to have Y implementation. Guys, now check this previous diagram and present diagram. What change you identified? In previous diagram in class B, what we have? Separate variable J and separate method M2 method when compared with the class A variable I and class A method M1. But in another diagram, in third diagram, what I have provided there, in both the class A and class B, same variable with a different value, not same value, of course, different value, and the same method with a different implementation. In class A, I value is 10, M1 method implementation is X implementation. In a class B, I value is 20, and M1 method implementation is what? Y implementation. Got it or not? Listen carefully. C is a child class or parent class now? Child class. As it is a child class, it have rights to access directly class A members and class B members or not? It has rights directly to access class A and class B members or not? Okay. I is equal to I plus 10. It has taken 1 minute. I is equal to I plus 10. It has taken. Similarly, M1 method call, it was identified. Guys, observe this carefully. When a class C is accessing I variable, I is equal to I plus 10. When a class C is accessing I is equal to I plus 10, that means I is equal to I plus 10 in the sense it required I value or not. But actually where it was declared, I variable is declared where? It was declared where? In one superclass or in two superclasses? Two superclasses. So here the confusion for compile and JVM is what? From which superclass it has to take the I value? From which superclass it has to take the I variable value? Come on, you have to think about it. From which superclass I variable value will come? Is that from class A superclass or class B superclass? Is that class A superclass or class B superclass? See, up to our program only, which one is first one and which one is second one, we are thinking. Once we compile this program and two separate dot class files for class A, class B, class C is also another dot class file. It is a child class. No, it is trying to get I variable value from both the superclasses. But fortunate or unfortunate, in both the superclasses, I variable is existed. I variable values are different. So here the confusion for compiler is what? From which superclass the I value is referring. For JVM also confusion is what? From which superclass I value is coming. Say for example, if it is trying to take I value from class A superclass, I is equal to 10 plus 10, that might be 20. Is it 20? If it takes I variable value from class B, I value is 20, I is equal to I plus 10, I is equal to 20 plus 10, that is 30. Is it 30? If it is thinking M1 method is coming from class A superclass, no, class A superclass, no, so which implementation might be executed? X implementation. If it is that X implementation, if it is thinking that M1 method call is coming from, M1 method definition is coming from class B superclass, then here implemented, that means implementation of this M1 inside this class B is what? Y implementation. Is it Y implementation? This is analysis of the compiler and JVM. From which is superclass I variable value and M1 method both has been taken. It has to take from which is superclass. From which is superclass we have to take the I variable value and M1 method. Is a bit confusion for Java compiler and JVM. Is an ambiguity situation or not? It required one, but two are available. Which one we have to select? Which one we have to take? Is a confusion or not? Is an ambiguity situation or not? Of course, if it is a human being, no, it can go for trial and error mechanism, or it will toss a coin, then we will go for some alternatives. But it is a JVM and compiler. Basically, they are not human beings, right? They are in confusion actually. Whenever they are in confusion, immediately they are able to give some kind of error kind of information, that's okay. But confusion is available or not? It's a confusion for compiler and JVM. Not only for compiler and JVM, it's a confusion for Java developers or not? It's a confusion for Java developers or not? Whenever it is a confusion for Java developers, no, automatically the programming language is not good programming language. It is not developers friendly programming language. Till this type of confusions are generated, that programming language is not good programming language, and that programming language is not a developers friendly programming language. So I can conclude that programming language is not simple programming language. But Java wants to make itself is a simple programming language. Sun Microsystems has provided that Java as a simple programming language. As Java is a simple programming language, it has to remove all the confusions which are coming to the developers. It has to resolve all the confusions which are coming to the developers. It should not provide confusion to the developers and as well as for compiler and JVM. So because of this reason only, reason is what? To make Java as a simple programming language. To make Java as simple programming language, Java people have removed totally multiple inheritance from their programming language. Even though with the second case we are not having any problem, but still the total multiple inheritance concept has been removed from Java programming language. Of course, second case is good. We don't have any problem, but still, because of the third case, no, total multiple inheritance, that feature, total feature was removed from Java programming language. Got my point or not? So finally, what is the conclusion here? It is a confusion-oriented feature. Multiple inheritance is what? Confusion-oriented feature. So Java has removed that multiple inheritance from its programming. Understand my point? Of course, interfaces topic is available where similar kind of situation will come where it was accepted. But that is not the meaning of like what? No, multiple inheritance. Please remember this. Don't get any confusion. I'll talk about this point in object orientation clearly. But at present, we have to understand due to the confusion orientation, Java has removed totally this multiple inheritance. But it has solution in Python. In C++, this problem was resolved in C++ and in Python. They had given their own solution. I'm not going to talk much about this C++, just leave it, no. But in Python, how the solution is coming, I will give clarity. Solution they prepared very small, very simple. What is the solution they provided? No. What is the first superclass for class C? First PVM, PVM. Here JVM, there PVM. What is that PVM? Python virtual machine. First PVM will search for this I variable in first superclass. What is that first superclass? Class K. Where it is available or not? Directly it will take that value without checking the second superclass. In the case in the first superclass, if I is not available, then it will go to second superclass. There, if it is existed, then it will collect it. Of course, if the same variable is available in both the superclasses, no, first priority will be given for first superclass only. It will get the value from first superclass. In that way, the tracing is going on. That is Python. Leave it. But in Java, such kind of implementation is not available for JVM. So simply, whenever we are providing more than one superclass for a simple subclass in a single subclass, then immediately compiler will give an error. Compiler will give like what? No error. So single subclass is having multiple superclasses, then it is not possible. A simple error here we are able to get in the case of Java. In the case of Python, we are not having any error. Of course, in the case of C++, some solution is available. That is not at all required for us. Leave it. Not required to confuse you. I know the solution in C++, but not required. Leave it. Some virtual functions concepts or something else they are taken. As per that, they are given. They resolve that confusion, but we don't require that now. In Java, multiple inheritance is not possible. Why? Because multiple inheritance is a confusion-oriented feature. When we declare same variables and same methods in both the superclasses, when we access that variable and that method in the respective subclass, then compiler and JVM will get confusion from which superclass that variable and method has to be accessed. Because of this particular confusion, Java has removed total multiple inheritance from its programming language. Yes, sir. All of you are following or not? So people are sleeping, sir, inside the class. Right, if I see again the same person is sleeping in my class now, directly I will leave this dais, I will come to you, I will stand in front of you. Then I will ask 10 Java questions. If you answer, then you are eligible to sleep in my class. If you are ready for that, then you can sleep. Huh? Come. Answer my point clear. So this is exactly the point is like what? No, this is the point is what? Multiple inheritance, which is not possible in the case of what? In the case of which programming language? Java programming language. Right, sir. That's okay, fine. So can I go for a small note here regarding this particular point? No, here the note is like what? No, if we declare same variable and method in more than one superclass, and if we access that variables and method in the respective subclass, then compiler and JVM will get confusion. From which superclass that variable and method has to be accessed. Okay, Java is a simple programming language. So Java has removed multiple inheritance. So Java is a simple programming language. So Java has removed that confusion oriented multiple inheritance from its programming language. That's it, sir. Anyway, context are given that we can understand clearly. So diamond problem is different, guys. That is in the hybrid inheritance, the diamond problem will come. But strictly speaking, the diamond problem is not there in Java. There's an unfortunate question in outside. There is a question like in outside diamond problem actually, but the diamond problem kind of concept is not available in Java. Please remember this. So in the entire documentation, you can identify that The diamond problem is not at all existed. Diamond operator is available in Java, but not diamond problem. So unnecessarily some interviewers are creating that statement, diamond problem like that, but it was not existed in Java. Okay, right? Yes, completed. Understand these points clearly, right? That's okay, fine. Next one, totally how many differences are completed so far? 5 differences are completed, right? Now tell me what is the first one. Come on, what is the first one? C and C++ are what? Static programming languages, and Java is what? A dynamic programming language. Second one is what? Preprocessor is required in C and C++, but preprocessor is not required in Java. Third one is what? Pointers are required, exist in C and C++, but pointers are not exist in Java. Then fourth one is what? C and C++ are what? Platform dependent programming languages, but Java is what? Platform independent programming language. Fifth one is what? Multiple inheritance is not existed in Java. It is existed in Python, and it is existed in what? C++. Leave it. See, if anybody else is asking this question, see, of course, if we give your resume to the interviewer may see C, C++, Java, and so on, all technologies, then this is the first question that interviewer will have. Tell me the differences between Java and others. Or simply speaking, already we have C and C++, then why we go for Java programming language? We have to open our mouth. At least we have to talk about these points up to minimum 5 to 10 minutes of time we have to speak out now. Yeah. If interviewer is asking separately why Java is not supporting multiple inheritance and why pointers are not existing multiple, then we can give the total internal scenario. But before that, we have to list out all these points there. But in general, when you list out all these points, no interviewer may satisfied about all these points. If interviewer is asking why this is like this, no, then we can go for that internal concept. As I already discussed with that internals. Okay, that we have to manage in front of that interviewer. Okay, leave this. Right, sir. Next one is after that, after completion of this particular one. Next point is what? Destructors are not okay. Destructors are existed in C++, but destructors are not existed in Java. Destructors are existed in C++, but destructors are not existed in Java. This is a question, guys. Everybody has to answer for it. Destructors are existed in C++, but destructors are not existed in Java. Okay. And one more point I'm telling to you, those who are freshers, they only can get this kind of questions in the interview hall. If you are experienced person, that interviewer will not go for this kind of questions here. But my coverage is what? Right from layman to topmost person, I have to cover everything. That's why I'm talking everything. Conceptually important, we have to understand everybody. That's it. Next one, destructors are existed in C++, but destructors are not existed in Java. Guys, once again, I'm asking one question to all of you. Try to answer for it. Everybody. What is the object-oriented programming language? When we are able to say one programming language is an object-oriented programming language. Come on, again, if any programming language able to represent data in the form of objects by following object-oriented features or principles, then the programming language is what? Object-oriented programming language. Is that clear or not? If any programming language is able to allow its applications to represent data in the form of objects, then automatically the programming language is what? Object-oriented programming language. All right, sir. Now I'm asking one question. Now answer for it. In object-oriented programming languages, we are representing data in the form of objects. Am I right or not? We are representing data in the form of objects. Means that before representing data, first we have to create object. Without creating object, how we are going to store the data? If you want to store data in the form of object, first we have to create object. Okay, we created object. After that, we store the data inside the object. At least at the end of the program, we have to destroy this object or not? Come on, you have to answer for my question. First, at the starting point of the program, at least we have to create object. After creating object, we have to keep data inside the object. At the end of the program, we have to destroy that object or not? At the end of the program, we have to destroy that object or not, minimum. So here, what I'm telling there, in object-oriented programming languages, it is convention to represent data in the form of, it is convention to represent data in the form of objects. Am I right or not? Objects. So then what next point here now? To follow this convention, we have to perform the following two things. We have to perform the following two things. What two things here now? First one is what? Creating object. And second one is what? Creating what? Creating object. Next one is what? Destroying objects. That means creating objects and destroying objects are the two frequent operations in all object-oriented programming languages. Are able to follow or not? I'm not getting satisfaction by seeing your faces, guys. I don't know what is the reason today. Is there a problem with my face or your faces? I don't know. Always my face is beautiful. Don't worry for that. But I'm thinking about your faces only. Huh? Early morning time, if you are in dull mood, then it is not a good thing for our day. If you are active, then throughout the day will be active. Satisfaction is not coming. Even right from beginning point of the class, I am checking your faces. I'm not getting any satisfaction. Of course, I'm unable to see my online students' situation. Leave it anyway. So now tell me, what are the two frequent operations in object-oriented programming languages? Creating objects, and second one is what? Destroying objects. Okay, fine. But how we are going to create objects and how we are going to destroy the objects? That question will come or not? Right. That's why here, what's the point I'm telling there? In object-oriented programming languages, to create objects. Answer my point here. In object-oriented programming languages, to create objects, we are going to use a separate feature. In all object-oriented programming languages, to create objects, we are going to use a separate feature. That feature is called as constructor. What is that feature now? Constructor. Now tell me, guys, what is constructor? Constructor is a feature in object-oriented programming languages. It can be used to construct the object. Name itself is giving clarity. It can be used to construct the objects. Constructor can be used to construct the objects. Am I right or not? No response, guys. Right, sir. Now, similarly, I want to destroy objects or not? I want to destroy objects. In the same way, in all object-oriented programming languages, to destroy the objects, a separate feature was provided by object-oriented programming languages. That feature is what? Destructor. That feature is what? Destructor. Constructor can be used to construct the objects. Destructor can be used to destroy the objects. Clear? All of you are getting clarity up to now? Just names only, terminology only. Right. Next one is what? After completion of this, after understanding constructor and destructor, after understanding this point now, what is that next point here? Listen carefully. In a C++, destructors are required, but in Java, destructors are not required. Why? Because in Java, to destroy objects, Java has an internal tool, an inbuilt tool. Java has an inbuilt tool to destroy the objects automatically, not by any developer's intentions. Automatically, to destroy the objects, automatic destruction of the objects. For automatic destruction of the objects, internally, Java has an inbuilt tool. The name of that inbuilt tool is garbage collector. What is it? Garbage collector. Java has an internal tool to destroy the objects automatically. The name of the tool is what? Garbage collector. Due to this garbage collector, Java is not thinking about how to destroy the objects. Due to this garbage collector, Java developers are not having any responsibility to destroy the objects. Java developers are having the responsibility only to create the objects, not to destroy the objects. Why? Because Java has an internal tool to destroy the objects. That internal tool is called as what? Garbage collector. But in C++, garbage collector is not available. In your C++, garbage collector is not available. When garbage collector is not available, that is when automatic object destructor is not available, then C++ has to provide an alternative to destroy the objects or not. When garbage collector is not available, then C++ has to provide an alternative to destroy the objects or not. That alternative for destroying the object is what? Destructor. That the developer has to call. Destructor provided by C++, the developer has to call to destroy any object. But in the case of Java, developer is not at all responsible to destroy the objects. Developers are responsible to create the objects, but objects are going to be destroyed by the JVM. That means JVM, inside the JVM garbage collector, to destroy these objects. Automatically, that objects are going to be destroyed inside the Java. So now tell me now, which programming language is good programming language? Java or C++? Java or C++? You don't have any other option. You have to say Java only. You are sitting in front of me. Please remember this. You are sitting inside the Java class, right? Right, sir. One simple comparison. Okay, forget about this Java class or whatever it may be. Simple comparison. Hyderabad is a metropolitan city or not? Yes or not? Yes? Good. For example, two cases I'm telling there in Hyderabad. Case number one. This metropolitan authority, in other words, the GHMC, right? It has given one announcement to all the citizens. Whatever the wastage you created, we are not responsible for it. This is your wastage. You should take the responsibility to bring that outside of the city. Then, if it is a situation, then what citizens are doing every day morning? In which way they are collecting newspapers, in which way they are taking milk packets. In the same way, they have to pack their garbage. They have to take bikes or cars and vehicles. They'll move to outside of the city. There they will keep it and again they are returning. Sir, got it or not? So all citizens has to take that responsibility or not? It's a burden to the citizens or not? Tell me, it's a burden to the citizens or not? Definitely. Who is going to waste their time now? In Hyderabad, everybody is busy. Everybody is busy except you. Huh? You are myself also very much busy. Everybody is busy in Hyderabad. Who will take care of? Moreover, see, in hotels also you might be seeing self-service. What is that self-service? Just we are creating our food. We are taking our food. But when you complete our food, then where you provided, where you put that plates now, the same location where you ate it. Even we are not keeping that in a dustbin, right? Okay, leave that. That is a different example. So all citizens must take the responsibility to bring their wastage, to move their wastage to outskirts of the city. Okay, this is case number one. This is not good for the citizen point of view. Case number two, same GHMC, Metropolitan Authority, what it has given there, what it has given, yes, sir. What they are given option there, just you can create the wastage, don't take any responsibility. Our municipality people will come to you, they will collect your garbage and we will take the responsibility to move that to outside of the city. As you are the citizens, you are professionals. Don't take any responsibility to move your garbage to outside. Our people will come to your home, they will collect your garbage and they will move that garbage to outskirts of the city. Which one is better service? Case one or case two? Case two is a better service. All citizens are happy with that or not? They are ready to pay even 1,000 rupees per month. They are ready to pay 1,000 rupees per month to JHMC, but they don't want to take any responsibility to bring their garbage outside of the city. But municipality has taken that responsibility. The second one is good. Exactly, the second case is Java programming language. The first case is C++ programming language. In case of C++, developers must take the responsibility to destroy the objects as they created the objects. But in the case of Java, developers are responsible for creating the objects only, not to destroy the objects. Who will destroy that objects? No. Garbage collector. Where is this garbage collector? Part of the Java. Part of the Java. The Java is nothing but GHMC. Programming language is GHMC. It has an internal tool to move out our garbage to outside. Developer, you not required to take any responsibility to move out your garbage now. It has an inbuilt tool to destroy that garbage. Sir, got my point or not? Okay, just if you dereference the objects, or at the end of the program, garbage collector will destroy every object. There are also some cases are available. We'll discuss about that cases in garbage collection topic. But at present, Java has a tool to destroy that objects. Internal tool is available, that is garbage collector. But that is not existed in the case of what? C++. Got my point or not? So now even in this case also, which one is good programming language? No, Java is a good programming language. Again, I'm telling there, is a part of the memory management or not? Come on, guys, now tell me, is a part of the memory management or not? Destroying object is nothing but releasing memory or not? Destroying garbage collector in the sense releasing memory or not? Releasing memory or not? Releasing memory is a part of the memory management or not? Now tell me, whose memory management is good? Whose memory management is good? Is that Java or C++? Again, I said, of course, you have to say Java only, right? You don't have any other option. So Java memory management is so good. Okay, good, sir. Nice. Now come for this. Now this is another point here I specified to you, but with a small note, I want to complete. I will share all this document. Don't worry about it. Within 1 or 2 days of time, I will share all the documents. No, I'm having all the documents. Let me have some point here. Then what is the point here? Java has an internal tool to destroy objects, that is garbage collector. So Java does not require destructors. Java doesn't require what? Destructors. All right, sir. Now here, what is the conclusion here I'm telling there? What was the another conclusion here I'm telling there? C++, Java has an internal tool to destroy objects, that is garbage collector. So Java does not require destructors. C++ doesn't have garbage collector to destroy objects. So C++ has a destructors feature to destroy objects. Here in the C++, developers must access destructors to destroy objects. That's the point, sir. Okay. C++ does not have garbage collector to destroy objects. So C++ has destructors feature to destroy objects. Here in C++, developers must access destructors. C++ developers must access destructors to destroy objects. That's it. Nothing. No need to have any other discussions. The point is very, very simple. Everything is very much clear. You have to understand it clearly. Guys, my points are clear or not? Right, very good. Next one, after that, after completion of this particular one, another one. Now come on, now tell me how many differences we completed so far? 6 differences. Tell me what is the first one here? C and C++ are static programming languages, and Java is what? Dynamic programming language. Then what second one? Pre-process required in C and C++, but pre-process is not required in Java. The third one is what? Pointers are existed in C and C++, but pointers are not existed in Java. What is fourth one? C and C++ are what? Platform dependent programming languages, but Java is what? Dynamic programming language. Then what next one? Multiple inheritance is not supported by Java, which is supported by C++ and Python. Leave it now. Next one is what is the next one? The 6th point I covered here. Destructors are required in C++, but destructors are not required in Java. Why? Why districts are required in C++? The garbage collector is not available. But where garbage collector? Java. In Java, garbage collector is existed. What is this garbage collector? Automatic object distractor. It's an automatic object distractor. It's an inbuilt tool inside the Java. That is, strictly speaking, is one of the tool in JVM. It is one of the tool in a JVM. So in other words, I am telling that JVM will take the responsibility of destroying that objects. But inside the JVM, who will take the responsibility to destroy the objects? No, garbage collector. Again, I am asking one question. Who will execute Java programs? Come on, who will execute Java programs? JVM. Inside JVM, who will execute Java programs? Interpreter. Interpreter. Inside the JVM, who will execute Java program? Interpreter. Inside the JVM, who will destroy the objects? Garbage collectors. All these are internal components inside the JVM. Got my pointer? The total runtime is maintained by JVM. Inside the JVM, so many components are available. One is interpreter to run the Java code. Another one is garbage collector to monitor that memory. That means to destroy the objects. When the cases are coming, automatically it will destroy the objects. Clear or not? Okay, leave this point here. Next, one more point. Now, this might be seventh one, I think so. Sixth one we completed. The seventh one is like what now? Listen carefully. Call by value and call by reference are existed in C and C++, but call by value only existed in Java. Call by reference is not existed in Java. That means my comparison is what? Call by reference is existed in C and C++, but call by reference is not existed in Java. Call by value is available in both the cases. Call by value is supported by almost all the programming languages, but call by reference is not existed in Java, but call by reference is existed in C and C++. Yes, sir. Following or not? Okay, fine. Sir, I'm asking one question to all of you. Try to answer for it. General knowledge question, not subject related. Who is great mother or teacher? Who is great mother or teacher? As I'm teacher, I can say teacher only. As a teacher, I'm saying teacher only. I have a reason. What is my reason there? Mother can create sleeping for only for her child, but teacher can create sleeping. Now the situation for some of you like that only. I feel very proud by seeing that. I'm grateful by seeing your faces, some of your faces now, especially in today's class. Huh? So teacher is greater, mother is great. Teacher is great, right? Fine, sir. Don't sleep inside the class now. An important topics I'm telling there. Huh? So this see, if interviewer is asking, tell me something about garbage collector. At least we have to say some information, one or two points. At least we have to say. But if you are sleeping while discussing this point, if you are sleeping, who will remember these points and who will deliver these points in front of that interview? There also you are sleeping, no? In front of interviewer. But no, in front of interview you will not sleep. I know your situation in front of interviewer. Shivering, spitting, situations are horrible in front of that interviewer. But in front of me, you are sleeping. I feel very great. My voice is very much speed. That's why you are sleeping in front of me. You don't have discipline, first of all. You are sleeping in front of me. That's it. Come again. Now, the next point is what? Call by value and call by reference are existed in C and C++, but call by value only exists in Java. Call by reference is not existed in Java. Before understanding call by reference is exist or not exist in C, C++, Java, first of all, what is call by value? What is call by reference? We need to understand at least one statement we have to understand. Even I'm not moving too much internals of these concepts here. The story is big, but I don't require total. But I need only one statement. That statement I want to discuss with you. What is call by value and what is call by reference? This point here I want to discuss with you clearly. Right, sir. If we pass primitive data, what is that primitive data? Can you tell me? Int, long, float, double, boolean, characters, byte, short, all this data is what? No, primitive data. If we pass primitive data as a parameters to the methods, the methods are functions, whatever it may be, in any programming language, I'm not specific to Java, in any programming language, if we pass primitive data as a parameters to the methods, then that programming language is called as, sorry, then that mechanism is called as call by value parameter passing mechanism. Tell me, what is what is call by value parameter passing mechanism? In any programming language, if we pass primitive data, again I'm telling you, the primitive data is what? Byte, short, int, long, float, double, boolean, character. These are primitive data types actually. This data, if you pass as parameters to the methods or functions, then the parameter passing mechanism is what? Called by value parameter passing mechanism. This is supported by all programming languages. C is supporting, C++ is supporting, Java is supporting, Python is supporting. Every programming language is supporting this call by value parameter passing mechanism. No second thought. Okay, leave it. Now call by reference. Listen carefully, all of you know. Before saying this call by reference statement, no, I want to ask one question. Already you know the answer for that question. What is the main difference between pointer variable and reference variable, guys? Now tell me. Pointer variable is able to represent address locations. Pointer variables are able to represent, are able to store, are able to hold, are able to refer address locations. Am I right or not? But whereas reference variables are able to store what? Object reference value. Already I discussed about this point now. Object reference value. What is this object reference value? What is this object reference? Object reference value is that hexadecimal form of hash code or not? Is that hexadecimal form of hash code or not? Exactly. What is this hexadecimal form of hash code? What is this hexadecimal form of hash code? Is an integer value, unique identity provided by heap manager for each and every object. Am I right or not? Right. My answer is very clear. Hash code is an unique identity for each and every object provided by heap manager. Its hexadecimal form is called as what? Reference value. That reference value was stored by a reference variable. Reference variable doesn't store address locations. Reference value is not address location. Hash code value is also not address locations. This point is clear. But whereas pointer variable is able to store address locations directly. Pointer variable is able to store address location directly. Reference variable does not store address locations. It stores only reference value of the object. Clear? Now come for this call by reference. All of you listen carefully. If we pass address locations as a parameters to the methods or functions, if we pass address locations as parameters to the methods or functions, then that parameter passing mechanism is called as call by reference. Call by address or some other names are also available, just all are same at present. You can understand it now. If you pass primitive data as a parameters, call by value. If you pass address locations as parameters to the methods, then it is what? Call by reference. Getting clarity what is call by value and call by reference now? Now coming to the point here, in a C and C++, if you pass a pointer variable as parameter to the method, in a C and C++, if you pass a pointer variable as parameter to the method, in a C and C++, if you pass a pointer variable as parameter to the method, then the parameter passing mechanism is call by reference. In C and C++, if we pass pointer variable as parameter to the method, then the parameter passing mechanism is call by reference. Why? Because if we pass pointer variable as parameter to the method, in the sense we are passing address location as parameter to the method, as pointer variable is storing address location. Trust me. What I'm saying to you, if you pass pointer variable as parameter to the method, then the parameter passing mechanism is what? Call by reference. Why? Because pointer variable in the sense address location only. We are passing pointer variable as parameter to the method in the sense passing address location to the method. When we are passing address location to the method, then automatically parameter passing mechanism is like what? No, call by reference. Similarly, in case of Java programming language, if you pass a reference variable as parameter to the method, what is that? Reference variable as parameter to the method. What is that? Reference variable as parameter to the method. Then the parameter passing mechanism is not call by reference. Still, it is called by value only. Even if we pass reference variable as parameter to the method, then the parameter passing mechanism is not call by value. Parameter passing mechanism is what? Call by value, not call by reference. Now it is what? No, call by value. I think I reversely given that. If you pass reference variable as parameter to the methods, then the parameter passing mechanism is not call by reference. Still it is what? Call by value. Why, sir? What is the reason for it? What reference variable is storing? Come on, what reference variable is storing? A reference variable is able to store object reference value, not address location. Got my point or not? Reference variable is able to store object reference value, not address location. Object reference value is what? Object reference value is a hexadecimal form of hash code. Hash code is what? Is an integer value. Hash code is what? An integer value. So it is not call by value. It is like what? No, call by reference. Yes, sir. Got my point or not? It is not call by reference. It is like what? No, call by value. Don't get confused here. I'm confusing, no? Not like this. I'm checking message what my people are saying there. It's okay, no issues, no. So finally, concept is very clear. In Java, call by reference is not existed. In Java, only call by value is available, even though if you pass reference variable as parameter to the method. Shall I have a small note on this particular point? At least can I write some point here, 1 or 2 points now? By this, I will finish this total part here. Simple content only. Right, sir? In all programming languages, if we pass primitive data, come on here, primitive data as a parameters, then the parameter passing mechanism is called by value. That's okay. Similarly, in all programming languages, if we pass address locations as parameters to the methods or functions, here my point of view, methods I'm taking there, but methods or functions, whatever it may be, depending on programming language, methods or functions, then the parameter passing mechanism is called by reference. They're the examples now. Now okay, directly I'm giving that in C and C++, if we pass pointer variable, if we pass pointer variable as parameter to the methods or functions, then the parameter passing mechanism is what? Called by reference. Why? Because what is the reason for it? No, pointer variable is able to store address locations. Right, sir. What next point here? Now tell me. What next point here? In Java, if we pass reference variables as parameters, then the parameter passing mechanism is call by value only, not call by reference. Call by reference. Why? Because what is the reason for it? No. Why? Because now tell me, sir, what is the reason for it? No. Why? Because in Java, reference variable is able to store object reference value, not address locations. That's enough. What is primitive data types are now? Tell me. What are the primitive data types now? Byte, short, int, long, float, double, boolean, character. Totally how many? 8 number of primitive data types are available in Java. Please remember this. In other programming languages, maybe one or two less or more. Understand my point here? But basically, the primitive data types are int, long, float, double, boolean, character. These 6 are mandatory in all programming languages. In Java, especially byte and short. Extra. These two things are extra. Byte short are available in the case of Java, but in other programming languages, these 6 are existed here. Yes, sir. Completed? Understand these points clearly? Okay, fine. Right, sir. Now tell me, all of you are following these points? Is this concept is clear to all of you up to now? Is it overloaded today? But I don't know why you are not and much. You are not. Your faces are not much glow today, as like yesterday. Yesterday your faces are very much glow. I know, but today your faces are too dull. Hmm? Of course, everybody will have their own problems. Right. Next one, apart from this. This is important point. Interviewer will ask more questions on this particular point, but I'll explain this clearly. Everybody has to put more concentration. All right, sir. The next point is what? I think, what is the number here? 8th. Overall 9 points I planned there. 8th point, next one more point. If I complete that one more point, totally this part will be completed. Okay, right. 8th one. Listen guys, all of you. In a C and C++, in a C and C++, integers will take 2 bytes of memory. Characters will take 1 byte of memory. But in Java, integers will take 4 bytes of memory, comma, characters will take 2 bytes of memory. This is a difference, sir. In C and C++, integers will take 2 bytes of memory, characters will take 1 byte of memory, but in Java, integers will take 4 bytes of memory, characters will take 2 bytes of memory. Of course, it's a question, but in the statement, the form of statements are given that. My question would be like what? No, why integers will take 2 bytes of memory and characters will take 1 byte of memory in C and C++, and why in Java 4 bytes of memory will be allocated for integers and 2 bytes of memory will be allocated for characters? Why? Why this difference is going on? This type of question will come. Okay. All of you ready for this? Just 5 minutes of time. I will explain that. By that, you'll understand even the 8th point also clearly. But somewhat important point. First of all, listen carefully. Strictly speaking, there is a wrong in this particular statement. This statement is a slightly wrong statement. Why it is wrong statement? But this is general statement. Everybody following this statement only, but it is a little bit wrong statement. But I'll give clarity why it is wrong. What is wrong in this statement also I'll give clarity. Now try to understand. Now tell me, sir, what is the first point I given here? In a C and a C++, what is this now? Tell me. What is this now? Tell me. Integers will take 2 bytes of memory. Characters will take 1 byte of memory. That means we decided 2 bytes of memory for integers and 1 byte of memory for characters. Am I right or not? We decided actually. Okay, no? Okay, fine. Next one is what? But in Java, integers will take 4 bytes of memory and characters will take 2 bytes of memory. This also we decided. Right, here the actual point is what? Assigning memory for the primitive data types in C and C++ is not fixed. It is variable depending on the compiler which we use, depending on the operating system which we use. Come on, come again. What I said to you, in C and C++, allocating memory for primitive data types, sizes of the primitive data types is not fixed. It is a variable that is depending on the operating system which we use. Windows to Linux variation, Linux to Unix variation maybe. Not only that, 32-bit operating system, 64-bit operating system, 86 operating system, like this. Some variations are available. 32-bit operating system will provide one type of memory allocation. 64-bit operating system will provide another type of memory allocation. 86-bit operating system will provide some other type of. However, get my point or not? That memory allocations point of view, variations are available. That is variable in the case of C and C++. That is variable. That is depending on the operating system which we used in the case of C and C++. But in Java, memory allocation for a primitive data types is a fixed, irrespective of the operating systems which we use. Use any of the operating system, that doesn't matter in the case of Java. Memory allocation for primitive data types is a fixed. Fixed memory allocations are available for elements in Java in any operating system, irrespective of the operating systems which we used. But in the case of C and C++, depending on the operating system, on the basis of operating system only, memory allocations are going to be provided. By this point also I can give one conclusion. C and C++ are dependent on the operating systems or not? C and C++ are dependent on the operating systems or not? Means that C and C++ are what? Platform dependent programming languages or not? C and C++ are platform dependent programming languages or not? Exactly. Whereas in the case of Java, memory allocation is not dependent on the operating systems. Memory allocations are not dependent on the operating systems. So once it is not dependent on the operating system, I can give the conclusion like Java is a platform independent programming language. Even in this case also we proved that C and C++ are platform dependent, whereas Java is platform independent programming language. Am I right or not? All right, sir. Now this is what exactly the point here we have to understand clearly. Okay, fine. Next one is, but in general, in a C programming language, maximum in the regular operating systems in C programming language, 2 bytes of memory for integers and 1 byte of memory for characters. But in Java, 4 bytes of memory for integers and 2 bytes of memory for characters. This quotation is going on, but actual reason is depending on the operating system. Depending on the operating system. But here again there is a question. What is that question here? My question is, in C and C++, 1 byte of memory is sufficient to store characters data. 1 byte of memory is sufficient to store characters data. But why 2 bytes of memory is required for characters in the case of Java? Understand my question? In C and C++, 1 byte of memory is sufficient to store characters data. But why it is required to provide 2 bytes of memory for characters in the case of Java? Yes, sir. Why you are looking so serious on my face now? Haven't understand my question? What is my question there? Tell me. In C and C++, 1 byte is sufficient to store character data. Why we need to provide 2 bytes of memory for characters in the case of Java? That's the question. Answer is very simple. Very simple answer. In C and C++, operating the depends is okay, fine, go on. In C and C++, maximum in C and C++, All the characters are represented in the form of ASCII values. Some people are seriously looking at my face again. Don't ask me abbreviation of ASCII because I don't know. Okay, anyway, it is one of the text representation. ASCII, Unicode, like UTF, all these are like what? No, character representations. So in C and C++, all the characters are represented in the form of what? ASCII values. To store any ASCII value, 1 byte of memory is sufficient. To store ASCII values, how many bytes of memory is required? 1 byte of memory is sufficient, not more than that. But in the case of Java, all characters are represented in the form of Unicode values. What is the text representation? Unicode. Unicode. All the characters are represented in the form of what? Unicode. To represent Unicode data, 1 byte of memory is not sufficient. You must take 2 bytes of memory. To represent Unicode values, 1 byte of memory is not sufficient. We have to take how many bytes of memory? 2 bytes of memory. Clear? Answer I given clearly. Now tell me guys, in C and C++, 1 byte of memory is sufficient to store characters. But why Java has to assign 2 bytes of memory to store characters? Tell me what is the reason for it? Come on, tell me what is the reason here? In C and C++, all characters are represented in the form of ASCII values. To store ASCII values, how much memory is sufficient? 1 byte of memory is enough. But in the case of Java, all characters are represented in the form of Unicode values. But to store Unicode values, how much memory minimum we have to assign? 2 bytes of memory we have to assign. Because of that reason, Java has to assign 2 bytes of memory for characters data. But in C and C++, to store ASCII values, 1 byte of memory, that is for characters. Then immediately I am getting one more question. Now I am interviewer now. When you are giving this answer, I have one more question. What is that one more question there? Hey, tell me what is Unicode? I don't know anything about Unicode. Now tell me. What is Unicode in Java? Why it is required in Java? What is Unicode? Definitely, then asking question is very simple, but giving answer is somewhat difficult. Interviewer job is very simple, sir. Student job is somewhat difficult. But we have to answer everything, right? That is our response. Okay, now what is Unicode? I don't know anything. Just please explore that Unicode. No, no. I'll give. Wait for it. Answer is one simple elaboration is what? Unicode in the sense universally accepted code. Just it's the analysis only, not the permanent, not really. Just we can understand the meaning. Universally accepted code. Now I can give the information. What is Unicode? Unicode is one of the character representation. It represents, listen carefully, it represents all the characters from all the natural languages. Unicode is a character representation. It has the representations of all the characters, all the alphabets in all the languages, in all the natural languages. I'm not talking about C, C++, Java. I'm talking about natural languages. What are these natural languages now? English, Hindi, Kannada, Marathi, Telugu, Spanish, German, Italian, French. All these languages are what? Natural languages. All the natural languages are Chinese, of course. Attractive. That letters are somewhat attractive, right? Fine. Chinese language, Japanese language. All the natural languages are having their own characters. Am I right or not? All different characters. But everything has to be represented in our programming languages. To represent everything, a specific character representation is required. One single character representation has to represent all the alphabet from all the natural languages. That character representation is what? Unicode representation. Unicode has the capability to represent all the alphabet from all the natural languages. Yes, sir. Got my point or not? That nature is available with the Unicode. That Unicode is available with Java. Now tell me how Java is more advanced than C and C++. Java can represent Chinese letters also. Java can represent Italian letters also. Java can represent all the alphabet from all the natural languages also. Then immediately I'm having one more question. What is this question? No? Sir, what is the requirement to represent all letters of all natural languages? What is the fun with that? Why? So what? Answer is what? If you represent all the letters from all the natural languages, then we are able to provide one service. That service is called as internationalization service. Of course, some technologies are available: localization, internationalization, externalization. Leave all these things. Only one statement: internationalization. Now, what is internationalization? This question will come. Unicode representation is providing internationalization service in Java applications. What is internationalization? Again, this question. I said to myself in an interview. What is your answer here? Answer will be very clear. Preparing Java applications to provide services for all the conventions of all the regions in the world. Come again. Preparing Java application to provide services for all the conventions of all the regions. Regions in the sense all languages and all countries. This kind of support is nothing but what? Internationalization. Still people are not believing me. Still people are not believing me. Yes, sir. Are you seeing my browser? What is this? What is this? What is that? Any people from Bollywood? From Tollywood? Please raise your hands. I'm asking there. From Kollywood? Nobody. All are from Hyderabad only. Tollywood only. Kollywood. Sandalwood? Okay, nice. Anyway, sir, what is this? What this Google is providing services now? Tell me. Any separate Google application with the Hindi? Any separate Google application with what is this? Any Google application with this? Any separate Google application? This is no, only one Google application, but which provides services in all the languages in India or not? Of course, if you open the same laptop in USA, where the local languages. Open this laptop in China, no, Chinese local languages. Of course, English is a common. That means it is providing services for all or not. This is exactly internationalization. Like for example, listen carefully. For example, I'm a software engineer. I prepared one application. Down the line, 1 year of time, all my customers are Indians only. I didn't have any problem. They can understand English perfectly. They can speak out English very well. I don't have any problem up to 1 year of time. But my product is very good. Fortunate or unfortunate, in the next year, my product has a customers from China. The main problem with the Chinese people is what? They don't know English. They don't know anything about English. But Indians, we are very good at English. Moreover, they don't know Hindi, but we are very good at Hindi. They don't know English, but we are at English. My product is prepared as per English only. My product is providing services in English, but China customer is available in front of me. China customer is speaking in Chinese language only, but my product is not recognizing that. Next day, another customer came from Japan. Japanese are not aware about English. They don't know anything about English. They know only Japanese language, but my product is providing services in English. Next day, I have a customer from Germany. German people are very much tough. They don't know, not even don't know English. They don't like English. They like German language only. They are expecting services in Germany, German language only. But my product is providing services in German. How many countries and how many languages noted? But my application is single application. But my application, if I want to preserve all my customers throughout the world, my product has to provide services in all the languages or not? My product has to provide services for all the language, for all the other country customers or not? How it is possible if I prepare my product in C and C++? If I prepare my product in C and C++, ASCII codes I have to use, is it possible for ASCII codes to represent all other language codes? No. Now, so where what I have to use? What I have to use? Unicode representations are required or not? Where Unicode representations are available? In Java programming language. So Java programming language is providing solution for this particular problem or not? That is called as internationalization. That internationalization is possible in Java because of Unicode representations only. That Unicode representations are giving support for representing all the alphabet from all the natural languages. If you want to represent any Unicode value like this, 2 bytes of memory here we have to assign for the characters. Understand, sir? What I'm telling you. That's it. Now this is about like what now? 8th point. All the points here we covered. All the interview questions also we covered up to now. But I didn't have any note on this. And tomorrow we have a session. Don't forget about it. Tomorrow Saturday, I think so. But still we are having class on Sunday. I will not take this class on this week. Maybe in the future I may plan for Sunday's classes also. Tomorrow we have session. Tomorrow let me complete this total part. Let me complete this total differences between Java and others. After that, new topic, Java futures. That new topic I will take on Monday. But tomorrow we have a class. Don't miss the tomorrow's class. I will finalize this total content here and I will review one time all the concepts there. Then after that, on Monday, we will go for new topic. That would be like what? Java futures. For our information, guys, please. 21st of this month at 10 o'clock, I'm going to start another new batch for core Java. Core Java in the sense full stack Java. If any of you are coming to these sessions late comers, you can utilize that opportunity, try to attend that classes also up to how much we required. How many classes you missed out in this batch? No, you can utilize the same classes in that batch also. You can come for that class also. If you are missing anything in this batch, that is another opportunity we are providing the live backup classes. Of course, we are providing video classes for everybody. You can check with that videos. We can utilize that. Over that, still if you require my classes, again and again, if you want to see my face there, come on 21st. I'm ready for that. Right? Thank you. Thank you for attending this session. Thanks a lot. Guys, anything about online classes and any doubts? Yeah, full stack online maximum it is going to be decided within 2 to 3 days of time. I will give intimation, guys. Regarding a full stack in online, I will give intimation. Evening batch and not immediately. In the future, I will plan for it. Just a full stack Java developer course is going to be provided, but not immediately. Within 1 or 2 days of time, I'll take decision and I'll give intimation. But now you can register for core Java as it is. Then our core Java is also included in the future in a full stack if I'm going to start. No doubt, sir. Thank you, guys. Thanks a lot. Thanks a lot. Thanks a lot. Thanks a lot. Thank you for your time. Full stack Java is not certified course, just as a regular course only. Then which includes core Java, advanced Java, Hibernate, Spring Boot, microservices, web services, and Aragil, basic UI, Angular, or what next one? React and DevOps and all. Then Ankit, just send a request mail to Durgasoft online training at gmail.com or people will contact with you. You send mail to nobody's reply. Then I will check once again. Maithili, I will check once. Don't worry for that. Maithili Kakani, right? Okay, then I will check it. Running notes and within 1 or 2 days I will share, guys, and I will create a channel through that. I will share all the classroom notes and classroom diagrams and everything. I will share. Don't worry. Yeah, Ravi, why? Yes, exactly. Just our people will share. They will send that a reply mail to you. Then you can identify that. Okay. Anything else, guys? No. ఆబ్జెక్ట్ డిస్ట్రాయ్ చేయడానికి ఇప్పుడు ఆబ్జెక్ట్ మనం క్రియేట్ చేస్తాం కదా. ఫర్ ఎగ్జాంపుల్ ఆబ్జెక్ట్ ఓరియంటెడ్ ప్రోగ్రామింగ్ అంటేనే డేటా అనేది ఆబ్జెక్ట్ స్టోర్ చేస్తాం. ఆ ఆబ్జెక్ట్ క్రియేట్ చేయాలి ఫస్ట్. స్టోర్ చేయాలంటే క్రియేట్ చేసానికి కన్స్ట్రక్టర్స్ యూజ్ చేస్తాం. సేమ్ ఆబ్జెక్ట్ ని అట్ ద ఎండ్ ఆఫ్ ది ప్రోగ్రామ్ కానీ ఇన్ ద మిడిల్ అంటే మనకు ఒక మెమరీ ఉంటుంది కదా. ఇఫ్ మెమరీ కమ్స్ అవుట్, ఆ మెమరీ ఫుల్, స్టిల్ యూ ఆర్ క్రియేటింగ్ ఆబ్జెక్ట్ వేర్ అవుట్ ఆఫ్ మెమరీ సిచ్యువేషన్స్ విల్ కమ్. In that situation, it's automatically or forcibly we have to destroy the object. Same object created objects, whatever the objects which we created, that we are going to destroy. Unnecessary objects, if you are not using that object from so long time, then we want to destroy that, then we have to destroy that. Then in the case of Java, it's going to be destroyed automatically, but in the case of C++, we have to take responsible to destroy that object. Yeah, exactly. Yeah, manucular. Then I'll provide this. 21st batch timing is like 10 o'clock, not early morning. 10 o'clock, 10 to 11:30, 10 to 11:30, 21st onwards. Yeah. Then Pratik, Rashmi. Uh, when the links are going to be changed, when permanently we are providing, then we will send that link to you. Until that, you have to use the same link, same demo link only you can use. Okay. Thank you. Thank you guys. Thanks a lot. Anything else? Shall we meet on tomorrow? You told that a batch at 7 to 8:30. 7 to 8:30 a.m. Maybe it may take some few more days. After that, I will start it, not immediately. But actually, I'm planning for advanced Java at 7 to 8:30 after a few days of time. But let me check once. Yeah, I used to take classes right from 7 o'clock to night 9 o'clock. 7 to 8:30. Okay, one session is I have to take, but that I'm leaving for advanced Java. Okay. Dhanasuriya, in YouTube only, promotional videos only we are going to upload, not all the course, not the entire course. But all course videos are going to be provided through Google Drive if you register. That means if you join with our batches, no, you will get all videos through Google Drive, every video. Amit, already our people are providing that videos access and soft copy material. If you join with this batch, even if you join with this batch, that means if your registration is confirmed, our people will share that. If it is not coming to you, one time contact with our admin people and they will share that. Already our admin people are sharing that tutorials, that means material and as well as like what now, these videos. One time talk with our admin people, they will share. Okay. Thank you. Anything else, guys? Shall we meet on tomorrow? Shall we meet on tomorrow? 5 p.m. after any batch are available, maybe after 1 or 2 months of time, I'll start batches after 5 p.m. At 6 p.m. maybe after 1 or 2 months of time, I'll start 6 p.m. Yeah, after 2 months of time, I think so. I will start 6 p.m. batch. Core Java. That means full stack. Thank you. Okay. Anything else, guys? Shall we meet on tomorrow? From when advanced Java will be started. I mean, it may take 45 days of time minimum to start advanced Java because you need to have some concepts in core Java. Core Java fundamentals, if I complete, then I'll start advanced Java. Definitely, I will start it at 7 to 8:30 a.m. I'll start advanced Java, but we need to complete some topics in core Java. Then only it is possible. Otherwise, it is not possible. Yeah. Evening batch I'll plan, but after 1 or 2 months of time I'll plan. Dana, Surya. Yeah, Maithili Kakani. Then you can attend for it. But after few days of time, that 10 o'clock batch will come to that 10 o'clock batch people will come at 8:30. Again, that for backup purpose you can attend for it. The 10 o'clock. Otherwise, you can continue with the same class. For backup purpose only, you can attend a 10 o'clock class. Okay. చూడు ఈ అమ్మాయికి యాక్సెస్ రావట్లేదండి చెక్ చేయండి ఒకసారి వీడియోస్ అవన్నీ మైథిలి కాకాకి వాళ్ళేమో రిప్లై ఇవ్వట్లేదంట మెయిల్ ఒకసారి చూడండి ఓకే షల్ వి మీట్ ఆన్ టుమారో definitely Dhanashurya evening batches when I'm planning that I'll give intimation to you, don't worry. When I'm planning, then immediately I'll give intimation to you, then so that you can attend for it. Definitely I will start, but it may take 1 or 2 months of time. Okay. Yeah. Anything else, guys? Shall we meet on tomorrow? No doubts. Tapas Ranjan, just send a request mail to Durgasoft online training at gmail.com. Okay. Then our people will contact with you for registration. Okay. Okay. Today we will track, sir. Today we will check. I think so. So many mails are coming there every day. So our people might be forgotten about it. Then today we will check it and I'll send reply as soon as possible. Okay. Thank you. Thank you. Right, guys. And we'll meet on tomorrow. Tomorrow we'll see the remaining content. Thank you. Thanks a lot.